to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. I'm your Wednesday host, Raven Payne. We got a great show coming up and a great interview on the inclusion and multicultural engagement and Backdoor Coffee House. Do not leave too quickly because Jaborius Ball and David Walker will share some information that you don't want to miss.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online. Sponsorship comes from American Graphics. Located at 8 Commercial Warehouse Drive in Hattiesburg, American Graphics provides custom screen printing and embroidery. They can be reached by phone at 601-602-2277. And the website is goamericangraphics.com. American Graphics, printing at its finest.
Welcome back on USM campus. In Compass, All the Colors is a musical performance that will celebrate and prompted the appreciation of chamber music by incorporating modern concepts of diversity, equity, and inclusion into the core message of the program. This event will be a launching point for a non-profit in Compass, a female-led collective of musicians, creators, and composers with the mission to create accessibility, meaningful, and community-led productions that invites audience to expand their perception of classical music and its role in modern society. This will happen today, 7:30 p.m. at the Marsh Auditorium. On Thursday at 5 p.m. at the Stamp Hall, WUSM 88.5 FM will air live and stream across social media a special edition of the show News You Need with a panel of experts and student representatives. The panel will discuss the recent headlines involving digital platforms. Graduate and professional schools from all over the country come to share their program opportunities with our graduating students. This will happen this Thursday, 10:30 to 1:30 p.m. at the R.C. Cook Union Room A and B. In Laurel, Mississippi, Dr. Deborah Hyde is well-known for being a trailblazer, being the second African-American female neurosurgeon in the country. But she said it almost didn't happen. Hyde went on to have a private practice for 32 years in California, where she said surgery kept her up for hours, and to her surprise, made her an entrepreneur. And a Bible verse she loves so much inspires her to start her own foundation, the Beacon of Hope, in 1991, helping students focus on higher education. What is the key to her success? Hyde said it is to reach for the stars. Hyde now works at Ellisville State School and stays involved in her community through different speaking engagements. Since it was Mardi Gras weekend in the honor of Fat Tuesday, the city of Petal hosted a Mardi Gras parade for the residents at the Bedford Care Center. Participants were welcome to walk, ride, drive, or dance in the parade with Mardi Gras spirits. Starting at the city's Civic Center, the line of cars were escorted by the Petal Police Department as they made their way down West 8th Avenue to the Care Center. Becky Wilson, Bedford Care Center Activities Director, says events like these are important to the residents because they make them feel connected to the community. This was the largest Mardi Gras parade the center has had so far, according to Wilson. In Memphis, Tennessee, a top city official said Tuesday that a 4th Memphis Fire Department employee is being investigated as part of the probe into the violent arrest and death of Tyree Nichols. Memphis City Legal Officer Jennifer Sink told reporters that the city hasn't had made a final decision of what the consequences the employee may face, according to the commercial appeal. She did not disclose the employee's name or rank. Sink said that the person came to the scene much later than others and provided medical care and transported Mr. Nichols to the hospital. We'll be right back with sports and weather after a word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Yo, it's Smooth Oz.
And Charlie from the 4th Street Sports Show.
And we are psyched for our second year covering Southern Miss athletics, and we have some new faces joining too.
Join us every Monday at 5 p.m. to hear from myself and Smooth Oz, as well as Dima, Jackson, and Nathan.
88.5 is the place to be on Mondays at 5.
The Southern Miss men's tennis team picked up a much-needed win over Prairie View A&M on Tuesday afternoon after dropping a heartbreaker to Lamar on Monday. The Golden Eagles blanked the Panthers via a 7-0 score in Beaumont after falling 4-3 to the Cardinals yesterday. The Golden Eagles are back in action at LSU on Saturday, February the 25th. The first serve is in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, is set for 1 p.m. Lady Eagles basketball finished off their 2022-2023 home slate with a senior day matchup against Troy. Tip-off from Reed Green Coliseum is set for 6 p.m. Graduate student Lauren Gross will be honored after the game as the Lady Eagles' only graduating player. The Southern Miss track and field team heads to Birmingham, Alabama to compete in the Sun Belt Indoor Championship February 20th through the 21st. At the complex, the team aims to find a third-year conference and the first in the Sun Belt. The competition will begin at 10 a.m. each day with the multi-events. Running events start at 3:05 p.m. on the Monday and 1:30 p.m. on the Tuesday. The meet will feature 37 student athletes from Southern Miss to compete on 2 teams, 19 for the women's team and 18 for the men's. To keep up with all Golden Eagle sports activities, head on over to southernmiss.com. It's going to be a partly cloudy today with high in the lower 80s. It will also be very breezy with south winds of 5 to 25 and gusts up to 35. Lows tonight will be in the upper 60s. Mostly cloudy skies are expected this weekend, with highs in the low 80s and low in the 60s. No rain is expected. Up next, we had Dolphus Ware's wife, Rosie, recalls Dolphus' journey into the ministry. Check it out.
This is Mississippi Moments, produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage at the University of Southern Mississippi and supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. I'm Bill Ellison. After graduating college in California, Dolphus Weary returned to Mendenhall while job hunting. His wife, Rosie Weary, recalls his decision to join the Mendenhall Ministries.
In 1969, when Dolphus, my husband, came back from California to Mendenhall, there were no jobs available. His brother asked him to come to Washington, D.C. He would get him a job, so he went. But John Perkins said to Dolphus, the problem with our communities is all of the good people are leaving the communities and there are no leadership left in that community. You know, that the good leadership is gone because he knew that if Dolphus get up to Washington and start working, he was going to stay. And he said, let's create our own jobs. That first summer, the only thing they did was they asked the churches, can we come in and teach the children vacation Bible schools? And then they realized that integration was coming to the county and realized that our children was not ready for integration academically. So the next summer we started a tutoring program.
To hear more, visit MississippiMoments.org or just like us on Facebook. Mississippi Moments is supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. The humanities are for everyone.
What a great Mississippi Moments. Before we get into our guests for today, check out some sponsorship messages.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
What's going on, Southern Miss Radio? I'm Austin, aka Smooth Oz, with 4th Street Sports Show. Me and the crew are back on Mondays at 5 p.m. Yes, Mondays at 5 p.m. Tune in to 88.5 for all things Golden Eagles athletics, and a fun-filled experience with recaps and interviews from coaches, players, and administrators. Mondays at 5. Don't forget.
Now, please give a warm Golden Eagle welcome to both our guests today, David Walker and Jabarius Ball. How are both of y'all?
Doing good. Yeah.
Okay, for Backdoor Coffee House, what was the idea that pushed this event?
Well, the back door is really old. I got pushed on this idea a couple of decades ago when I've always loved the concept of the coffee house, and that is singer-songwriters, poets, people just sharing the things that really move them. And I was sitting around a church fellowship hall in the church that I'm in now, and I was looking around and I thought, how much of the time a building like this is not used? And I thought, I worked with coffee houses when I was back in college, and we would have killed for this sort of a setup, this room, these nice bathrooms, you know. So I spoke about it with the church leaders, and they said, great, and David, you just take it and run, and we'll do you a big favor and step back, because we know having something like this in a church already makes it hard for a lot of people to trust you. And I mean, I'm a member of the church, so obviously I trust the church, but it does say something to people that, you know, hey, you mean you're going to let people come in here and sing things that matter to them and aren't necessarily religious in the traditional sense? Well, I would say that I think that real artistic expression in almost any field, well, all fields, is spiritual. If it's honest, it's spiritual. So when I hear an artist that I think really moves me, or somebody comes to me and says something, and I hear it, and there's a possibility to put a platform out there and bring in an audience, then I feel this is a blessing for the community. And we've had a whole bunch of different people in that room through the years. We've had Grammy winners. We've had a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer. We've had talent from right here in Hattiesburg. We've had talent from Europe. We've had talent, I mean, it's crazy. You'd think I was making this up, and I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't been there. But I just want to do an early shout out, because I'm going to get out of here. Let this man have some time. And I'll be back. But the March 10th show, so this is a couple of weeks ahead now.
Okay.
We got Grace Pettis coming, who is, among her other singer-songwriter credits, she's a strong woman. Now, this has been our year of strong women, because we had a Grammy-winning Tricia Walker, no relation to me, on last month. Had a huge crowd for that. Lots of university students came across the street for us. We loved that. And I think they had a wonderful time, because they helped me close it down, put everything away that night, which is a big job. Just to let you know, Grace Pettis has won National Public Radio's Mountain Stage New Song Contest. She's received grants from the Buddy Holly Educational Foundation. She's known, and she comes from great folks. Pierce Pettis is her father. He's a legend in songwriting. Her mother is Sarah Hickman. No, excuse me, I'm wrong. I'm looking at the wrong things right here, y'all. I'm just lying to you. Isn't that crazy? No, I knew that was wrong. Okay, Dr. Margaret Mills Harper, who is a poetry scholar. And so she's kind of got the scholar world, the poetry world, and the music world growing up. I will say that Grace is one of the most dynamic young women I've ever had. We had her a couple of years ago before COVID. And it was an amazing night, and she is a powerful presence. So I just invite everybody, if you just wonder about us, remember it's donation, so you're not getting stuck. If you come and you say, man, you know, you can walk out, it's no problem. Free coffee, whatever treats we've got that night. But I guarantee you, if you come, you will enjoy this lady. And you can meet her. You can, you know, if you buy merch from her or anything like that, she's just extremely personable. We demand that from our performers, that they meet everybody, because it's really about being live and involved with that audience.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say again, March 10th, that's a Friday. The doors open at 7, shows at 7:30. It's University Baptist Church in the back, which is 3200 Arlington Loop. And we have some wonderful new sponsors this year, including the Author Shop downtown. We have, I'm just dropping my Moore's Bike Shop, Dennis Baum, the realtor. We have, Montague, Pittman, and Varnado counselors at law, and goodness gracious, I know these people by heart. I know every one of them. And we have K&D estate sales or sales, and they're fantastic. So thank you all, and everybody who comes. And through the years, I've had USM students with this department who came over and did things with us there too. So you're all invited. I mean, please come back.
I wouldn't mind the free coffee.
Free coffee, I guarantee you, and I'll serve it myself. If you don't find anything you want, say, hey, get over there. But it'll be a room full of great people, and I invite you all for sure. So I'm gonna get out of the way and
Thank
let
you
you
for
let
coming.
you move it. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Okay, bye bye, y'all.
All right. Okay, Jabbar Isbell, what is the inclusion and multicultural engagement? What does it mean to you?
So what does it mean to me, or what my office mean? What's the question? Specify.
Let's specify. What does it mean to you? Let's start it off.
Leveling the playing field and having people have equitable access to education.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it means to me.
Does IME push people to like enjoy who they are?
Absolutely. One thing about my office is I create this little tagline that says "Provide a community for those who need it." So it's a safe space, safe and brave space where people come out, learn about other cultures, but engage with other cultures as well. Or if it's somebody that has the same shared identity, it's a space for them to come just hang out and do all that stuff too.
So in the multicultural, does it involve like all diversity within it?
So multicultural, that that umbrella that falls for historically underserved communities, and what that means is it could be people of color, first generation, low income, students who wouldn't necessarily have access to college historically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what that is.
What are the goals that are involved in IME?
So on our website, usm.edu/IMU, we have our goals listed out. But one of the ones that come to mind is educating the campus at large on inclusive efforts and equitable efforts. That hope is to create something or give people the opportunity to succeed in college, and have people that care about them and provide them the safe space to figure out how they can navigate at a predominantly white institution. So,
As a director of IME, what is your responsibility in that role?
so not only am I supposed to provide space, but create programs that cater to specific demographics. Like, for example, we have Black History Month this month. And Friday is our last event for the month, and we'll be having our ASO Cultural Legends Ball.
Oh, I heard.
Yeah, it's gonna go up. And it's the Cultural Legends Ball. I told the students I wanted to kind of mirror the BET Awards, so it's Black, Elegant, and Timeless. That's the theme they went with. So if you have your best, come ready to show out. It's gonna be performers. It's gonna be an award ceremony, and it's just going to be a good time, good vibe, like a whole family reunion type thing,
Have there ever been a time where a person didn't feel like they belong here at USM that you had to come to talk to?
So a lot of students, the challenging thing about college is expensive.
Yeah.
And so, I don't have all the money, but the money that they do give, I give them opportunity to students. So, for example, I give students the opportunity if they want to be presidents or vice presidents of the student organizations under the office. We offer them a scholarship, and that can range from like $750 to like $1,000, which to me that sounds like a lot, but in tuition conversations that might miss. That's not scratching the surface, but you can help with books or something. But that's one of the things that I wanted to make sure that students have access to, some finances, some monies, and I wanted to make sure that that scholarship they're rewarded for their hard work and service to not only the community, but USM and that organization that they're a part of.
Yeah, because back when I was like in a community college before I transferred over here, it was like paid for because I had a grant.
Right.
Coming over to USM, it's like a big school. Tuition was like high, and I had to get. Well, of course they had a grant with it, but
Right.
also I had to get like some loans to help finish paying that for that.
Absolutely.
So it's really great that IMM is helping like students get more financial gain to help into it.
Absolutely.
With IMN, what other organization is it like the top boss of it, or like, does it have like other organizations under IMM?
IME?
Yeah, IME.
So,
I'm sorry.
No, you're all right. So, are you asking about the student organizations, or are you talking about just the office itself?
The office itself.
The office itself, so it's only one office, and we have the Prism LGBT Resource Center that's attached to it. So the IME office, we focus on 3 specific things. So that's community outreach, multicultural student initiatives, and the Prism LGBT Resource Center.
Okay.
So through that, that's how we operate and that's how we function.
What fun memorable moments did you have in the IME?
Fun. This past was a couple weeks ago. We did our second annual trap karaoke, and so the history behind trap karaoke is the people that created it, the brothers that created it in that garage, right? And the reason why they did that is because they want to sing songs that they like, because they don't play them at karaoke spots.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? We need to do that here too, because we play a lot of songs, but it's not inclusive of the the music that a lot of the people that attend trap karaoke listen to. So we did that. We had Joe Paul. It was a nice turnout. It was a great turnout. I think it could have went like maybe an extra hour longer, and they probably, they probably would have came and got us out of there. But it was good, and seeing the students happy is what makes me happy. So just seeing them smiling, enjoying themselves, and singing Finito and all those, man, they came out the gate swinging. They was playing Shibuya. And I was like, oh man, I was like, oh, y'all ain't playing today. So yeah, they came in and did that. So that was one of my highlights, and that just happened. So, but there's a lot, it's so many to remember, but that was just one just recently. So.
With it being in Black History Month, what does Black History Month mean to you within your job?
So fun. I always give a story, a spiel of how the office was created. So 2 years ago, that's when the office became actual physical space, and we're located in the hub, room 100. So you can't miss us. But the history behind the office in Black history is this brother named Dr. Eddie Holloway. He was the first Black AVP and the first Black Dean of Students, and he's now emeritus AVP, so he still works here part-time sometimes, but he's retired. Mm-hmm. He advocated for the space before I got here in 2019, which was the old post office, right? Old post office ain't been used in years, and so one of the things that I set out to do was to create a space that mirrored the place that I came from when I worked at the University of Arizona. And when I got here, right, he established a lot of the foundational pieces like the Kennard Scholars Program that's named after Mr. Clyde Kennard. And, the history of USM and its affiliation with the Black community hasn't been always the best. Yeah. So, or with any person of color, specifically Black people. But, my hope was to create a space for students of no matter ethnic creed, background, ethnicity, but they have a space to do so. So, in a way, I'm kind of like I don't like to pat myself on the back, but I'm a trailblazer in that regard, creating that space. Because when I came in, I was like, nah, we got to do better. So now we have 5 to 10 computers in the space for students, because that was one of the initiatives that I came in. They said we want to increase our retention for Black men on campus because that was our lowest retaining students. So when I came in, I was like, we need computers, we need this, we need that. And now students that are in these organizations that housing us, they have these office hours, and it's creating a pipeline. And so it's creating a generational thing. So 4 or 5 years from now, I'm like, man, that was my spot. I used to go hang out on campus. Everybody has their space. And so that one area of the Prism and the IME multi-purpose space, I want that to leave a legacy here. And the great thing about it is once I leave this institution, it'll still be here, Right.
like
Yeah.
leaving a mark.
Yes, right. You know, and if you come into the office, I have one of our students, Erin Logan. She was one of our former presidents of SAGE. She created a mural in our office, and it says "Leave Your Mark," and it's a dry erase portion on there where students can come in and sign their names. And so, like, you know, I want to be able to create a foundation for students to come in and be like, man, you know, this, because everybody needs a home away from home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I set out to do.
I like that how you, well, organization itself, push people of color to more into, you know, every time they like somebody to say like a PWI, they were like, oh, they just only white people. But then I also white people, it got more like diversity into it, and like how the organization and push more people find a comfortable space into the organization.
Yeah, it's a 60-40 split. 60% white, 40% students of color.
Yes.
So, but yeah, that was the aim and the premise of creating that office. So.
Do you have any more upcoming events besides like the Legends Ball?
Yeah. So what's we got? We have any event program. Just go on our Instagram, IME_USM. But our next large scale thing, we have the Second Chance Prom, which is going to be March 25th. Second Chance Prom is for students who to break gender norms and binaries. You get the second chance to attend prom. You can wear whatever. But our theme this year is Once Upon a Time. So that's going to be kind of cool. It's going to be cute. And then we have our Women's Summit, which is March 29th, 1 to 5, and that's put on with our student organization WEA in the office. And then anything else, we have a wide array of different events. We have our Asian American Festival, it's like April 26th. That's Asian American Festival, yeah, our festival for Asian American Heritage, I'm sorry. And that's going to be in the Baptist Student Union. And then May is going to be our Kente graduation. So that's where we celebrate our students that are identified as Black African American. And that graduation from 10 to 12. Kente stalls are now available to register for the register for the program. So if you're graduating, we want to make sure you celebrate and be with your people, your family, and we're just there to celebrate you. So, but anything I've just said, we have our calendar. It's on our website, and it's on our Instagram.
In your own opinion, what do you want students to gain from it?
From IME? You know, my journey as an educator, I decided to be an educator because I never had a black man as a teacher. And I think I had maybe like 2 black educators in my entire academic career. So I said I wanted to be a change in that. And so, being one of the few black administrators or educators at the institution, I want to give, somebody a mirror so they not only see themselves, but they can see outside of what the general public and the news. You see a lot of people with demographics that look like me as well too. And the space itself, I want people to be able to have a space that they can call their own, call home. We have a lot of students that have cried in our space. We have a lot of students that, don't have that space where they can just be themselves authentically. And so that's what I set out to do. And so we're still working and growing. Like I said, we only been established as a department 2 years, but we're growing and glowing. Okay. And we're doing the best we can what we got.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything that we didn't cover that you would like to mention?
I think you did a fantastic job. I think I don't have anything else. I could sit here and talk all day if you let me, but I think that's it.
Okay, thank you so much, Jabari Bell, for coming on today and providing a voice for our Eagles.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Coming up, we got Jaterica Wilson. With Miss Raylani Branch. Check it out right after the word from our sponsors.
So what led you to come to USM?
The fact that by 1965, I realized that my high school education was not going to take me where I wanted to go. And Gwendolyn Elaine Armstrong, who was a high school student who applied here, was afraid to come alone. So the NAACP, Forest County NAACP, asked me if I would enroll and come out here. And believe it or not, we didn't have one single class together. However, we knew each other was on the campus. And the NAACP paid my tuition, but I didn't, with 3 children and a sick husband, I didn't have, money. I worked on campus. We got, we were paid work study for $1.05, so an hour, $1.05 an hour. We worked 20 hours, so we would take home approximately $17 and some change. And when I ran out of money, I'd walk back and forth home. And it's a good 3-4 miles.
Okay, so when you entered USM, what were some problems that you had to face?
Number one, we did not know anything about the campus. And the FBI had asked us not to ever go to Wimpy's. Now, Wimpy's was like a hamburger joint. It was next to the post office on this end of what is now the hub. So I told Elaine, guess where we are? And she said, where? I said, we are in Wimpy's. And she just turned red. She said, we're not supposed to be here. And I said, I know, but it's too late now. We might as well sit here and enjoy it. But we really did not. I'm going to be very honest and give credit to probably Dr. McCain, who was the president at that time. He had, in a meeting, stated that school would be, classes would go on as usual. The Klan wanted to come on campus and burn a cross. And probably because he was very close to the Klan or the White Citizens Council, he told them, no, you will not burn a cross on our campus. Simply went to class and did what we were supposed to do. She was younger than I was. I was married. An 18-year-old is in a whole different category. But I never had maybe one incident. We had to have 2 credits of PE at that time. And I was out on the baseball field, which is now Trent Lott Building and the new business building. And I'm not a sports person. I couldn't hit a ball or put a ball in a basket or none of that kind of stuff. But when I was up to bat, the ball, someone yelled "nigger" from the back of the football field, the buildings, and I hit the ball, a home run, and I never hit a ball up until then, and I haven't hit one since then.
What a great news wrap. That was Jaterica Wilson with an interview celebrity with Miss Raylani Branch. And that is a wrap. Thanks for listening to Southern Miss today on Southern Miss Radio. Huge thanks to Matthew Lee, our audio engineer, and Devontae Anthony, our video producer, for keeping us rolling. Our new assistant producer, Jalen Pegger, our assistant manager, Kelsey Bowden, as well as executive producer, Miss Whitney, and our general manager, Dr. Martin. I'm your Wednesday show host, Raven Payne. Stay Golden Eagles.
Sponsorship comes from Southern Beverage, your local Michelob Ultra distributor. Michelob Ultra has significantly fewer carbs and calories per serving if you are watching those in your diet. You can reach Southern Beverage by phone at 601-268-9111, or you can find them on the internet at southernbeverage.com. Anheuser-Busch St. Louis, Missouri, and Southern Beverage ask you to please drink responsibly.